Good people, how y'all doing today? This is going to be possibly the last video of 2024, and this is Doc's favorite movies of the year. This is only going to be my top 10, so I hope y'all ready to go on this little journey with me as we go through a lot of the great hits. 2024 has been an excellent year for not just music, but cinema as well, so I'm excited to go through my top 10. With all that being said, let's get into it. Now, like I said, we're going ahead and start off with my honorable mentions. So these are just films that just couldn't make the cut, but I did enjoy watching them. Just to name them, The Fall Guy, we have Rebel Ridge, Godzilla, Godzilla Kong: The New Empire, and Shirley. These were probably like all the movies that I really enjoyed this year, but they just was just like they weren't ready to take the next step to be one of the rest of the films that are going to be ranked thus far. So now we're gonna get straight into it. Number 10, we have Monkey Man, directed by Dave Patel. Now this is under Jordan Peele's Monkey Paw production. This is a film that I covered on Rorvis review earlier in the year. This film serves as an excellent directorial debut for Patel, who is also our main character and writer of the film. Don't let people fool you saying this is just, Bollywood's version of John Wick. That's a disservice. This movie is way more than that. The film even jokes about referencing John Wick when Patel's character is looking for a gun, but this film is so much more. It's about, classism. It's about, being different, and it's a revenge tale as well. And yes, both movies have revenge in them, but their reasonings for these revenge are so different, and the way they take their characters is different as well. But Patel plays our main character named Kid. We don't know his real name at all. This is just off what we're going by, and we go on this journey with him of revenge, and it's revenge for not just his people who village was destroyed, but the death of his mother by the same people that caused it as well. So we're going on this whole journey about him, being an underground fighter and to raise money to utilize for purchasing weapons and things like that. So all in all, this film was really excellent, not just from the writing and visual standpoint. We had great fight choreography as well. Like, they was really beating the hell out of each other. Then I definitely seen some innovative kills and scenes in here as well. I think the writing was done excellently. I think the utilization of Hinduism makes me want to further develop develop some a curiosity to delve deep into that philosophy and that religion. I think all the actors and actresses within the film served their purpose well, and overall this was just a very fun watch. So number 10, we have Monkey Man, and if you haven't already, definitely check this film out. On to number 9, we have In a Violent Nature, directed by Chris Nash. Now, what I loved about this film, that it was a unique horror film due to it being from the perspective of the killer, and not just like, oh, our main character is the killer. No, I'm talking about in the sense of everything in the viewpoint, like the POV, everything is from the killer. Like, this is like some behind the scenes type of movie. This film utilizes a lot of long takes and uses no musical score, so it's really just us going along with him. And it's like, if you ever wondered what Jason, what Michael Myers are doing in between shots, like how they get to these locations, how are they getting these weapons, this is the film that really encompassed that curiosity, and I highly enjoyed it. What Chris Nash said about the film was, we always wanted to treat this almost like a nature documentary. It's luring to you in a sense that the danger isn't quite there. When you see tourists getting really close to bears, they're just like, oh no, look, it's not doing anything, it's fine. Then all of a sudden the bear turns around and charges at you. You're way too defenseless. You just have no idea what they're capable of, and this much power and brutality. So that's how he would describe the titular character, Johnny. This is a character that, is on the same sense of Jason, who's like, mentally challenged, but just like destructive and brutal. But what I loved about it is just like the bare example Chris Nash gave earlier. That's how you would describe Johnny. Johnny is minding his business usually, and it's not until someone takes something of his, or has something that he wants, or disturbs his peace, that's when he gets active. That's when he attacks. Other than that, he just like he's really just something, a natural creature in a sense, and not natural in the sense that that's like regular animals, but like he's truly just going off of instinct. And I thought that was just an interesting take with this type for this type of film. And speaking of it being a horror movie, the kills within this film, holy hell, there's a kill of the year contender within this film, and many people will agree. It's just like, it's so innovative, out of bounds, unnecessary, but it felt just right. And the kills are just brutal. Like, it truly does look like an animal attack, like a mauling, because he doesn't just like, it's not just a quick slash and gone. No, it's vicious. It's just vicious, to say the least. So with that being said, like I said, and I know if you have me on Letterboxd, the rating is I have it like at 3.5 stars compared to Monkey Man, that's at 4. But I think for what this film did and how I gravitated towards it, I have to have it just a bit higher. But it's still, I think this is a film that y'all should check out if y'all are horror fans. And if you're one of the people that thought this film was kind of boring and drug on, I understand. But I know what they were going for, so I knew the journey I was about to partake in. Besides the kills, I did not know what I was getting to with that. Holy hell, they took it to a whole nother level of creativity and utilizing practical effects. But at number 9, In a Violent Nature. At number 8 is Maxine, directed by T. West. This is one of my favorite horror movies of the year. T. West delivered again. After I didn't really enjoy Pearl, but I really enjoyed X, so to have that be more in line of the direct sequel in that sense, follows our titular character Maxine as she goes from being a prolific porn star to trying to enter Hollywood, truly into a horror film, and star as a particular character. T. West knocked us out of bounds. I enjoy a lot of the acting. I love the score. I love the kills. Absolutely love the kills. Love the performances. Mia Goth kills it again as Maxine. Elizabeth Debicki as Elizabeth Bender has a great monologue and great couple speeches within it. Giancarlo Esposito as Teddy Knight Esquire. Fun role for him. Just good vibes overall. Kevin Bacon as John Labette. Oh, he was playing a very sleazy motherfucker, but he was just on point with a lot of his performance as well. This was overall just a good film that I enjoyed. I already talked about it heavily in my X trilogy review, so if you want more in-depth details of what I like about it, please check that video out. All you gotta do is scroll through the channel, you'll be able to find it. But at number 8, Maxine, definitely check this one out if you haven't already. At number 7, we have a pick I don't think many people would think are going to be making this list, but I have to because I respect what this film was and I highly enjoy it. And that film was Transformers 1, directed by Josh Cooley. Now this may be a hot take, I don't think so, but in my opinion, this is one of the best Transformer movies we've seen in the last 2 decades, even compared to the first Michael Bay Transformers film. This film is so true to the source material, but also sparks something different with giving us this origin story of these 2 rivals of Orion Pax, who would soon to become Optimus Prime, and D16, who would later become the leader of the Decepticons, Megatron. This film is just so great, honestly. It's a film that I didn't think was marketed as well as it should have been. I think they made it seem really kiddie when an animated movie doesn't just have to be for children. And I think this film would have been is being respected by such as like Transformers fans that are like very much so between close to my age and even older. I think the people that are like watched all the different cartoons growing up enjoyed this film more than other people, because it was just excellent to see your favorite characters all be on the screen, and their interpretation is just done so well. Like I said, it's the origin of these two rivals. Chris Hemsworth plays Orion Pax, and Brian Tyree Henry plays D16, and just the parallels between the two of how gaining power and learning the truth changes changes people. Because within the movie, Orion Pax, even though he becomes the leader in Optimus Prime, he's more of the rebel. He's more of the kind of rule breaker. He's trying to make things happen, and D16 is more of the strict by the rules, you know, keep your head down, do your job. And once they learn the truth about why their lives are the way they are, it changes both of them in very different ways. And it just like Orion becomes more aware and figure out to he have this like optimistic viewpoint of how they have to be the change. But D16 takes it in the sense that, well, we just gonna destroy everything, and I'm just gonna crash out. Like, when you find out what happened to the person who was D16's influence, his favorite Prime, it just changes him. It makes him want to go kill that person who took him out. And I think it was just an excellent performance from both vocally. Lawrence Fishburne as Alpha Trion, I think even though it was just a small role, his voice is so powerful, and the utilization of his quality, like his skill sets, were much so appreciated. They didn't need to go all out to get Lawrence Fishburne, but I do appreciate it. John Hamm as Sentinel Prime, that sleazy fucking bastard, does an excellent job of playing both like someone that's like for the people but also a scumbag. Excellent on that front. Scarlett Johansson as Alita 1, good cool voice acting performance from her. There's nothing that was over the top, but just like she played her role well and acted vocally pretty well, so I enjoyed that performance. Visually very stimming. I love how sleek they look. I love the transformations. I love the score. I love everything about this film. It was definitely a surprise film for me, that in the sense that like I didn't think I was going to enjoy it the way I did, but honestly it was just a fun watch, and probably gonna be one of those films I might go back to just because I enjoyed everything about it. And I might be missing some things just because I'm just going all off my head off of one viewing, but again, it was a great film. And what else can I say? Number 7, Transformers 1. At number 6, we have Challengers, directed by Luca Guadagnino. This film creates a rally taking place in its present time of 2019 and going back and forth from the past, or like the origins of our characters, you know, where they start off in their careers as tennis players, the love triangle that's entangles, everything is going back and forth, and it just creates a great sense of tension along with the tennis match that's happening throughout the whole film. And this match means the world to both of our characters, in Art and in Patrick. Both of them are playing for their livelihoods. You know, one is already cementing a pretty good legacy, but he wants to end it on a high note before he retires and becomes a family man. The other, strum on his luck, hasn't been doing well, and this is his like last ditch effort to becoming one of the best tennis players he could be, because he's never maxed out his true potential, because he's always kind of been like a coaster in a sense. The score was composed by Nine Inch Nails' Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. The score has this 80s retro feel to it that amplifies the scenes that they have throughout the film. It's just very, I don't know, it's very, it just gives you this feeling that kind of gets your blood pumping in a sense, and a lot of tension can be formed with these the score as well. Cinematography was great. I love some of the great camera shots throughout the rallies, as well as the special effects used, because they didn't use a real tennis ball, but I loved how they was able to like encapsulate. I couldn't even tell that was a fake tennis ball. Like, they was really going at it, so they really practiced this, and I think they really did a great job of understanding the physics of everything in that sense with that edit. Acting performances from Zendaya as Tasha Duncan, Josh O'Connor as Patrick Zewig, and Mike Fias as Art Donaldson. All three of them held this film on his back. It's a 2-hour film. This is the only characters that's really talking for prominently throughout the film, and they do an excellent job of keeping the attention on this film and making you not want to leave your seat. Don't let the trailer fool you. It's not just gonna be some freak off that happens between the three of them, but you should pay attention to that scene because it like shows a lot about who these characters are in that scene, and I think that's very interesting. Looking back at it, just reminiscing my feelings of the film. Excellent film, a film that I did not think I ain't have much anticipation for, much thoughts of, until friends of mine kind of told me to check it out, and I see why they spoke so highly of it. So number 6, Challengers. Now in the top 5, and at number 5, Bad Boys Ride or Die, directed by Ali and Baal. This film was a surprise entry in the series after the 3rd film, even though we knew more films were coming. This one outshines that film. It outshines the first movie. I'm thinking between this one and the Bad Boys 2 are the top 2 in the series, in that franchise, and I'm excited to see where the series go. Honestly, the cinematography is the best out of all 4 films. It's exciting. It's something that I wasn't expecting from this film, especially the editing as well. Like, there's some shots that it's like they did not have to do this. We were not expecting this level of content and quality in a Bad Boys film. Like, we've come to the conclusion Bad Boys films equals some funny jokes and interactions between Martin Lawrence and Will's characters, Mike and Marcus, plus some explosions and a successful mission at the end. That's what we're expecting. I didn't expect some POV action shots with, like, we get to see the behind the scenes of it. Like, Will's actually moving the camera, and it's just like the attention to detail, the level of commitment to this is just something that I must applaud and uphold. You know, the cast does a great job as well. Everyone is on their, P's and Q's and delivering great performances. Will's character, who is usually this badass, is now like conflicting and going through his own crisis, and Martin's character Marcus almost died, and now he's trying to like take life differently and feel like he's meant for something, and he feels like he's not going to die, stuff like that. There's a whole like different dynamics that's going on between these two characters at this point in life, because these are like real grown man. Like, these ain't like the young cats they were early back in the 90s. These niggas in their goddamn 50s or something now, like maybe older. So like, to still be running around trying to be action heroes, there's only so far you can take that, but they do it in a very smart way, and I enjoy what came out of it. Reggie's character, played by Dennis Green, it's your time. Thank you. That's all I gotta say. If you've seen the scene, you know what I'm talking about. Shout out Reggie. Reggie showed out. But yeah, number 5, Bad Boys Ride or Die. Now at number 4, we have The Substance, directed by Coralie Farget. This was probably the most polarizing horror film and maybe film of 2024. This film is truly amazing. It's remarkable in a sense of what Coralie took us on. This is a body horror film, so this is really something that's going to make you want to throw up. It's truly disgusting, but I absolutely love it. I loved how she fought for this film to have practical effects. It says like 70 to 80% of the film uses practical effects, and the studio wanted her to use the cheap digital effects, but it would not have drove home how grotesque and how brutal things can be if she took away from that. Now, the film is about Elizabeth Sparkle, played by Demi Moore, and it's about her trying to overcome this world and society and how they view women. And I mean that in the sense of she's a former award winner. She has her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and now she just does these workout shows. This workout show every morning, and on her 50th birthday, she ends up going to the wrong restroom because the women's was closed, and she overhears the producer Harvey, played by Dennis Quaid, and how he truly feels about her, and it's disgusting. He's saying like, "Just get this old bags out. I want some fine 18-year-old piece of ass with nice tits pronto. Like, we gotta get this old bitch out." And it's just like brutal. And I think what Fargate did a great job of portraying with this film is going through how society treats women and how women get older. It's like, no matter, they're never good enough. It's always something that they're lacking or something to go against what society wants out of them. And other women can speak on this better than I can. This is just kind of like bits and pieces of what I got from it, as well as videos I've watched. So I highly recommend y'all watch the Dead Meats podcast, where they talk about this film, because Chelsea did a great job of talking about how this was so relatable to women and womanhood. But to get back, so Elizabeth Sparkle ends up doing this crazy drug to test out to make her better version of herself, and literally spawns a younger version of herself who goes by Sue. And now this dichotomy of both of them are one, but they slowly start treating each other like they're different people, and you see where the issues and tensions start to appear. That's all I want to say about this film, but holy hell, I need y'all to check this film out. This was an experience that I wish I could have had in theaters. I think it would have been much better if I seen this in theaters, but just like, it kind of just slipped under the radar. But like, I finally got to it a month or so ago, and I highly enjoy it. Margaret Qualley as Sue, Margaret and Demi, their performances in this film are so crazy and impactful. And it's just, I'm just not gonna, like, it was like a lot of like insanity going within this film, and they held it together. Dennis Quaid, horrible fucking person in this movie. Just horrible, and it's just disgusting. And he's the person that has the most disgusting scenes without practical effects. And what I mean by that is, there's scenes where he's up, when he was talking shit about her in the bathroom, the camera is literally up close. He looks disgusting, horrible, and he just looks all greasy. And he has the nerve to be talking about Elizabeth. And Elizabeth's looking good for her age. Like, it don't matter. It was crazy to think about, and just to show how society treats women regardless of their stature or how good they look. It's always on to the next, and it's just horrific. But overall, excellent film. Definitely check this out. This one, left the impact on me, not gonna lie. At number 3, we have Furiosa, Mad Max Saga, directed by George Miller. Now, I was never much of a Mad Max fan before this year. I dug deep into every single film, and Furiosa and Fury Road, both of them are just like tied for best. It's crazy to see a director like George Miller, who created this whole franchise, kept it close to his chest, never let anyone else take it from him, and see the direction he's gone. And each of these films have only gotten better for the most part. Thunderdome, little shaky, world building great, but everything else shaky. But other than that, these films have gotten better over time, and or at least he has, with the direction he's going with these films. The cinematography in this film, excellent. Sound design, crazy. Vehicles, because vehicles in Mad Max are always tied together with the film. It's always, how can they make the next film, the vehicles, look even more cooler or insane to look at. And it doesn't get much better than a chariot being driven by 3 motorcycles like horses. Like, that's beautiful. Probably my favorite vehicle in the franchise. That is just excellent. Love it. It's so outrageous. It's so unnecessary, but I love it. Anna Taylor-Joy as Furiosa. Ali Brownie, who plays the younger version of her as well. Chris Hemsworth as Demetrius, Tom Burke as Petronian Jack. All these performances was just I just loved. I truly did enjoy this film. This was a crazy ride, like usual Mad Max films should be. It should be something that just like takes you somewhere. And what's cool about Mad Max is it's like very thinly interconnected because it's not no one line. Each film is its own tale, its own story. So yes, it may have the same characters, but like there's no direct continuations, which I highly enjoyed. Score from Junkie XL, crazy, very much so. Junkie XL is probably one of my favorite sound designers out right now, so this was excellent from him. But yes, overall Furiosa was some greatness. It's another one of those films I wish I'd seen in theaters. Like this would have been crazy just to experience the rumbling in that seat. But overall, this was just a great film, probably the best in its franchise, and I'm excited to see what's next because George Miller has me locked in. It doesn't matter, he's an old man. That old man knows what he's doing with his work, and I'm excited to see what happens next. We are now down to the last two. Number 2, Alien Romulus, directed by Fidel Alvarez. This was an experience that I'm glad I got to see in theaters, experience that I will never forget. This film was able to bring back what was great about the first 2 films and combine them both, and I think it's given this series direction that much needed. And there's nothing to go against what Ridley Scott did with Prometheus and Alien Covenant, but I think what a lot of fans wanted was something truer to what we already experienced, because I think that's what Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection, those films were lacking. It lacked what those previous 2 had, you know, and I think this film did a great job of building tension and anxiety. I think it was a great use of practical and special effects in unison. Set design was great. The score and the use of silence, making things actually terrifying when they had to be quiet around around the face huggers. Everything about that was phenomenal. The performances from each of these actors and actresses, superb, especially from Rain's character portrayed by Kaylee Spaney, and Andy played by David Johnson. Both of these 2 together, it was just, I love where both of them were coming from. I love the experiences. And David Johnson plays an android, and to see his like the tics he's utilizing, because it's kind of like the android has like some type of disability, and to see him go from that to like kind of cold and calculated later within the film, it was just, everything about these performances was great. I love the chemistry amongst the cast as well. This was so close to being my favorite movie of the year. It was so close, and I just highly enjoyed this film. This may be, you know, controversial to some other people, but Alien Romulus easily at minimum top 3 in the franchise, if not top 3, possibly top 2 in my opinion. And there's nothing else to say. Alien Romulus, number 2 on Doc's list. We're here. Number 1, my favorite movie of 2024, what I believe is the best movie of 2024, Dune Part 2 by Denis Villeneuve. Oh, this film, peak greatness. What can you say to a film that I've watched 3 or 4 times, the most out of everything on this list? The film that like truly encapsulated me when I experienced it in theaters and in home. Like, no matter how much I watch it, I still get the same feeling. Like, I just enjoy the world building, the journey of Paul Atreides, played by Timothée Chalamet, just going through the different experiences, the different cultures, and to see where this film is going to go just excites where this series is going to go excites me, because this film is just it's an experience. It's a spectacle in a way. This is something that I don't know. It's just when you have the world building that's already phenomenal, and the foundations that was set by part one extended upon greatly. Everything about this, from the lore of the Freeman, and the homeworld of the Harkonnen, you know, the score. Paul's Dream is still one of my favorite themes in cinema today, maybe all time. I just can't help but love it. Even the theme for Austin's Butler's character, Fide Rotha, excellent as well, just blaring loud. All these characters that came up from the first movie and the new characters in this film, still excellent, and just their performances are great. Hans Zimmer, probably my favorite composer of all time at this point, because he's somehow a part of my favorite things. Like I said, Paul's Dream, like I told y'all when I did this review, I start floating when I hear it. Like, I just can't help it. It's just excellent. The cinematography, still superb, even better than the first film. In theaters and at home, I thought spice was in my eyes. I thought I was getting lucid. It was insane. I felt like I was like really on a raucous. The fight choreography is insane, brutal, excellent utilization, and I love to pick upon where Duncan Idaho, played by Jason Momoa, he said that they're wicked fighters. You know, he said they fight like demons, and to see that payoff in this film was just excellent, because it's literally just these sand ninjas over here will literally take you out in a blink of an eye, and you literally have nothing to do to stop it. The Shah Haladu is the greatest travel beast in cinema. I don't care what nobody says. I don't give a fuck about no flying dragon. I don't care about no horses. I don't care about anything else. Them giant ass sandworms are literally the coolest thing ever. Cause them motherfuckers, the Fremen been whipping them hoes, man. And once they really utilize them as what? Boy, right. No. Oh my God. Like I said, performances throughout the whole cast, excellent. That psychopath of a mother, Lady Jessica, played by Rebecca Ferguson, she was acting out of her mind. Like, I thought she may have been a little bit schizophrenic in real life. It was quite the sight. Zendaya as Shani, Javier Bardem as Stilgar. Like, all these characters, all these actors and actresses did their job well, and it paid off. I think this film, I seen this film back in January, I think, and it's been my favorite film the whole time. Things have come close, and maybe hesitant. Maybe this isn't the best film, and then I sit back and think, no, this was the best film of 2024, and I'm excited to see what the next great film is going to be. So again, number one, Dune Part 2. I just wanted to thank y'all for being part of this experience, not just in this video but this whole year. It's definitely been fun to go over these movies. A film that didn't make the cut that I should have added to the honorable mentions that I'm going to mention now, Deadpool and Wolverine. Highly enjoyed that ride. Think it's an excellent film in that franchise and whatnot, and one of the best films of this year. But when it comes to what I think all these other films and what they did for their certain genres, I think that it didn't make the cut, in my opinion. But if I was to have like a number 11, it probably would be Deadpool Wolverine. I just wanted to get that out the way before I see any comments below about where's Deadpool Wolverine, which may be some people think Deadpool Wolverine is not that good, or I see the different lines. I just want to get that out the way. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any movies that you think should have made this list, drop them in the comments below. Maybe there's some films that I need to catch up on before things really get cracking in 2025. What was your favorite movie? You know, do we share any? What was your favorite scene, favorite score? Any and everything. Please let me know. Let's have these conversations and spark up. But just because we have a shared love of film, and I think these conversations could lead to different, successes. So maybe someone who ends up becoming a filmmaker takes these different ideas and is able to utilize them and form a concept, an idea that takes off somewhere, you know, or just to have fun conversations, you know. Don't have to take anything too seriously. This is just, we just appreciate different works of art. So thank you for this journey. Thank you for this year. Like, comment, subscribe, share the content, and make sure you're following the IG at DocsBrando25. Make sure you're following the Blue Sky, same at. Everything you need to follow me on is literally in my link tree. So all you gotta do is click the link, check out, where you can be part of everything. This is Rorvis Paradox, aka Docs Brando, and thank you for being a part of this Rorvis review. Peace.